Hi, I'm Tom, I talk about code. Welcome to another fantastic PlayStation 2 dev stream. People have been really watching my stuff on YouTube lately, which is incredible. I've had so many views. YouTube, the algorithm has been smiling on me and showing my videos to a bunch of people. I've had over 100 follows on Twitch off the back of that, even though I haven't streamed any PS2 dev since this started. So, yeah, it's amazing. Thank you everyone who's been checking out my stuff. Today, we're going to be diving back into the wonderful world of a C implementation of a 2D renderer. I've done a little bit of work off camera to get most of the texturing stuff done. Let's have a look at how it runs. So I'll talk a little bit about that flickering in a minute, but that is the Lua renderer. If we jump over to our setup file, critically I've added in this little flag, so we can just toggle this flag and we'll swap between a hardware renderer, our fast C renderer, and our slow Lua renderer. So the main difference here when I run this, we still get this weird flickering with the text. That is because of how the frame buffers are working here, but we don't see any textures. So there's a problem, right? Something's gone wrong. So we're going to start off this stream by dealing with that. So the goal for the stream, okay? Goal. It's going to be mainly just troubleshoot. Let's say fix. That's less letters to type. Fix draw for texture, and then we're going to finalize the API, and then we're going to use it. We're going to bring it into our dungeon game. So should be pretty straightforward, should be a nice quick session, just smashing stuff out the park. So the reason we've got this flickering here is that I'm not actually clearing the screen, and the reason that matters to me right now is it means that there's actually less in this drawbuffer. I know clearing the screen actually works, so if we don't do it, we get a simpler buffer and it'll be easier to debug. So I'm going to come in, let's go to temp, buff1. Okay, so we're gonna, God, I don't know why, I can never actually copy out of here without right-clicking. So we've got buffer1. Buffer1 is gonna be our broken, fast renderer. Now we're gonna do the same thing with our slow renderer. This one actually works. We're gonna copy this out. It looks like this buffer's a little bit bigger. When I've troubleshooted this stuff before, it's always just turned out to be that, let's call this buff2. Again, that didn't actually copy for some reason. I love it. When I've troubleshooted this stuff before, it's always usually a few fields in one of these. Like for example, let's say this is a DMA tag, right? So it'll be like a field and this is wrong. It looks like these things are actually different sizes, which will be harder to troubleshoot. So let's open up buff1, and then go diff split buff2. Cool. If you haven't seen this before, this is a really cool feature in Vim. So we can go line by line through this file now. As I scroll through the file, you know, it kind of highlights the lines in both files. So straight away on line 16, we get something that's different. So we're setting a register wrong. So the register 50, okay? I'm gonna need another window here. So let's go PS2 SDK. Let's jump. I think this is a register. So this is, yeah, this is part of a gift tag setting a register, right? So 50, 50, 51, 52, and 53. So buff2 here is our working renderer, and buff1 is our broken renderer, and so it looks like some of these fields are just not being set properly. Let's look for buff. Yeah, let's find where these constants are defined, and yeah, so it's this register. Built buff and trx reg. So that's good. We can actually work with this. Let's head over to where our fast 2D renderer actually happens. Draw.c. Draw2d.c. And this is when we draw a sprite. Gift tag 80 text a text. Yeah. So. Oh no, sorry. This is actually bit. Why is this being set every? Interesting. We probably actually shouldn't be setting these every single frame. If I go into texture.lua, res equals upload texture if res. Am I just not checking this in here? Maybe I need to check this. Okay. I think I know what's happened. Either way, let's roll with this for now because something is broken. We can tidy this up in a bit. So where am I setting? This is in upload. Upload texture. Okay, so bit buff. And the thing that isn't being set here is the VRAM address. So VRAM address, where does this VRAM address come from? This comes via draw. Where's the binding here? Let's go. Okay, so this could be a problem here, right? We may not actually grab this address properly because this is what we pass into that field. No, sorry. Where does VRAM address come from? Yeah, the base pointer, okay. Now, this is also complicated because we're intermixing Lua and C code here. Our base pointer actually comes from Lua, right? Lua determines this. The VRAM allocation is a Lua thing. Okay, let's jump into texture.lua. Let's follow this through, right? So the frame starts, we call upload texture. Well, actually, sorry, no, before this, critically before this, we call VRAM alloc texture. And this is what we did last stream or the stream before. Alloc. Sorry, yeah, and this is called from draw2d. Okay. That's right. So if we go into PS2 init, we can actually see we borrowed two functions from the slow Lua renderer. Yeah, because, and again, this was last stream, right? We didn't want to re-implement VRAM alloc texture in C, it didn't make sense, so we just grabbed this from draw2d. VRAM alloc texture, exactly, because this is so simple. So we allocate, and VRAM allocate, well, we VRAM allocate and we set this, we set the base pointer. Okay. So if the base pointer is not being set, that could explain why this happens. Lua does have some really like relaxed table dereferencing rules, right? You know, it likes to default things to nil. I'm guessing nils would happily cast to zeros in this case. This is a candidate for why this has gone wrong. It's a candidate. That was not what I wanted to grab. Draw lua.c. Okay, so here's one place that things can go wrong. The other place that things can go wrong is when we actually assemble our information, right? So bit.buff bit.buff. So when we call bit.buff, the hardest register name to say in the planet, we call that from draw2d.c bit.buff. So the first argument is this VRAM address. So I guess what we could do, right? We could, oh well, we already logged this. Okay, that's beautiful. I can just look at this is perfect. It's like I already worked out that there could be problems here. So if we go into our make file, we've already got trace logging enabled. Okay, so let's run this. Let's run this with the other renderer. A bit annoying to swap between them still. It would be good to have like a button that swapped between them so that I could do it, you know, mid-frame or probably not mid-frame, but between frames. They're not frame compatible. So uploading texture. Yeah, here we go. So this shouldn't be 0, right? This is saying we're uploading a texture from address 0 in memory, which is incorrect, to address 0, which is incorrect. VRAM address 0, which is incorrect. So let's go draw2d.c. So at least we know, right? At least we know. This is where things are going wrong, right? It's up here. We don't have to worry about the way we're building our gift tags. This is presumably okay. This looks and feels okay. Why are these getting passed in as none? So we have to go back up to drawlure.c. We go to... Oh, this is going to be gross. This is going to be gross. So bind texture. That's all good. So when we upload a texture. Okay, so two fields are not being dereferenced, right? This pointer field and this VRAM address. We're not getting anything for these. They're both coming out, well, this is coming out as a nil and this is coming out as a 0. And again, I'm guessing that Lua is happy to just you know, cast these things for us. Oh. So, yeah, so this should be fine, right? We push a string called data. We get the field data from our texture object, and the data object has the actual information, right? We can see this in our existing 2D renderer. If DWM would just please focus the correct window. Draw2d.lure, okay? We go to, where can we see this in action? Where can we see this in action? Let's say data. Yeah, so our texture object has a data object which has an address field, right? That's what we're grabbing here. We put the data object on top of the stack. Oh, hold on, that should be -2. That should be -2. That might explain it, right? Because we push the table on top of the stack, and then we push the string address. So let me draw it, right? So our Lua stack looks like this. We have... So we have the string... we have the string data, right? And then we call get table on our first argument, and then we end up with the actual table on top of the stack. And then we push the string address, so we end up with the string address, and then our table on the stack. So then when we call get table, right, it takes the first thing on the stack, and it takes a reference to a table. And so in this case, our reference to a table is -2 on the stack. So that works. That we should have, and then we'll put it on top of the stack. So we take from -1. This should work, right? So this should now give us our address. Why is base pointer set to nothing? And base pointer has this extra level of complexity. Joshwood55, hello, welcome. You followed a few hours ago. I'm guessing you're a YouTube discoverer. So welcome to the stream. It's awesome to see you here live. Okay, let's jump over to draw2d.lure. VRAM alloc texture. And let's actually put a print in here so we can... Oh, no, we're already doing this. We're already doing that. It's like everywhere I want this information, I've already considered it. So VRAM, it's going to say it somewhere in here. VRAM got texture. It's going to say it in the very first frame. VRAM. So these VRAM allocs, they've got real addresses. They've got real data. So that's good. That's good. Perfect. It's Josh Wood, I can't believe how many people have been discovering this channel through YouTube. It's insane. I was saying at the start, right? I've had like 100 followers between this stream and my last stream, pretty like just from people discovering it on YouTube. It's huge. I love it. I'm on cloud 9. So this base pointer field gets set. Okay, that's really important. You think this is really good stuff? Thank you so much. We know this base pointer field gets set. Okay, that's critical. That's so critical, because then when we push this, we should actually get something from this. I don't understand how we don't get anything. With this field set, I guess the other place we can do it But yeah, we explicitly check this here. Oh no, well we check that on the Lua side. That doesn't come in on the C side, right? We only borrowed this on the C side. But it's still like, if this doesn't fail in the Lua side, it should be fine on the C side as well. I guess, because the base pointer, right? The VRAM address could be 0, but for now we could actually just say if VRAM adder equals 0. We can basically be sure we're never going to try and draw a sprite that's allocated a VRAM address 0. We can kind of make this assumption. No textures at VRAM. This isn't a concrete assumption, but it's good enough for now. Log air cannot draw, cannot upload texture at yeah, so if I run this, oh, Docker's not running. Another day, another struggle to decide if I should just run Docker at startup. I think oh no, right password, perfect. That's not what I wanted. We're gonna build, we're gonna run, and it died. Attempted to index a nil value. Oh, that's because we have to return something. This function returns a boolean. I forgot about that. So we're gonna say push boolean. We're gonna say 0, right? This is always gonna be falsy because it failed. Attempt to index a nil value. Okay, this is still going wrong, but we should see this error logged. Where are we? Address, clear screen, and this dies without any error. See, again, this is weird, right? If this is failing, oh, well, that'll explain it. But why is it taking this code path and not logging anything? That's annoying. We're building, we're running, we expect to see something, and it still just falls over without logging. Am I going crazy? Internet tracer trait. And yeah, like, this stuff's really fragile, right? Once the Lua execution error happens, the wait draw is just gonna never complete. Attempt to index a nil value. Unfortunately, this is all we're gonna get here. But this is coming from, if we go into texture.lua, this is coming from here, right? Maybe? Or maybe it's, I think it's coming from here. Something not quite right. Okay, so why isn't this logging anything? Logger, it hits this code path and nothing happens. That's very frustrating. That's very frustrating. Let's do a make clean. And then build. Let's just make sure. And still, still not happy with this. That's so odd. Seriously, how does this happen and not log this? Am I blind? Am I missing something? We're taking this code path, right? We're taking this code path. So, base pointer, right? And there's also this resident field, I guess, that oops. Where does a resident get set? I set it. I manage it. I don't know, it just feels like somehow, feels like something's getting like corrupted, right? I'm guessing this error might have been, at least one of those times the error might have been because we were returning nothing and it was like blowing up this value on the stack and then trying to dereference something from it. Weird, weird. Okay, but yeah, so we don't care. We're only concerned with our Lua layer, merging layer, our melding layer, our consuming layer. Why do we have no base pointer? Seriously, this works for every other field, and then you hit base pointer and it's like, nah, no good. No good. Draw 2D Lua upload texture. Oh, do I try and debug? Do I try and use the PCSX2 debugger? I guess that's where we are, right? Oh, I hate it already. I hate it already. We don't get any functions here. What's happening? What's happening? Resume. Stop. Oh no, this is too gross. If it's not going to give me any functions defined... Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I do a breakpoint instead, right? Yeah, there we go. So... Oh... Where are we? Draw... So the function is... It's called Lua, right? I prefix them with Lua. Lua L. They're not alphabetically sorted, annoyingly. I don't even know what I'm looking for if I do this, though. This is really, like, feels more like Lua internals than an actual PS2 problem. So, our base pointer is coming out as 0 every single time. We know we're setting a base pointer. We know we're setting a base pointer. Well, we know we have a base pointer, right? It gets set here. Base pointer is kind of a bad name. We really should call it something else. But for now, base pointer, we know it gets set to something. We check this log line. We see it happen. Somewhere between here and upload texture being called, right? So if we look at our texturing example, somewhere between the end of our startup and this, the first thing we do when we draw a frame, somehow between here and here, test text, something's happening to it. Or something's happening to me. And base pointer comes out as nil. Or as a nil, which I think gets cast to 0 in this case. Is there a good way to log an object from C in Lua? So can we like call a function that prints the contents of a Lua table from C? That is a good one. Print contents of Lua table from C. That would be useful. That would be helpful. Yeah. Cool. I would love to call it from C. Okay. Man, this... You wouldn't think it would be this complicated, right? Ideally not. Ideally I would not do all of that. Ideally I don't want to do all of that. I really thought this would just be like a quick thing to push over, but this is a real doozy. Okay, here's another thought. Let me swap the order of these things, right? Am I accidentally doing something really dumb to the stack when I do this? And it actually... Is this just a case of me being dumb? Also, could this actually just be... What if I just, like, get rid of this, right? What if I just... Because... Okay. I want to go back to my picture of the stack, right? We push data. We push... address. Oh, well, we push data and we get the table called data from our main table, right? So we've got that table on the stack. We push our address and we call get table. So our stack has these two things on it. And only address is consumed, right? So our stack after this should look like this. And then once we get rid of the pointer from the top, we want to pop this table off as well, right? We don't want to leave the stack bigger than we found it. It seems complicated. This is complicated. So Lua to user data, right? This pops the stack. Does Lua to user data pop? Okay. To user data to string to pointer to integer. Does this actually pop? Does this not pop? Am I just really massively polluting the stack whenever I do this? Does Lua to integer pop stack? I just thought I'd search that to be safe. Does okay. You're wondering. Hold on, let me pull this chat over. You're wondering if it's possible to import a 3D model to PS2 and render it on EEC. What do you mean EEC? But yeah, like I'm keen to start getting some 3D model stuff happening. Is it possible to compile and swap in-game sounds? So swapping assets in games is really fraught with danger on the PS2 because they make a lot of assumptions about how things are structured on disk, like physically, how much would fit, how much will fit in memory at a given time. Because there are so many hardware elements that get communicated with very explicitly, it's hard to say in general if asset swaps are possible or practical. If you keep things exactly the same size, then yeah, it should work, but it's dangerous and it's hard to do. Importing 3D models and drawing them, it's definitely on the cards. I want to get 2D stuff working well first, because if this stuff isn't working, the jump up to 3D isn't going to go well. But once this stuff all works, the jump to 3D is going to be quite simple in a lot of ways. The hardest thing is going to be making it play nice with the draw 2D state, right? Because this is all very state-based, right? It keeps track of a lot of stuff that's going on. Let's actually draw.h, right? So while I'm drawing in 2D, I keep track of all this stuff. I keep track of texture stuff. I keep track of the current GIF and DMA tags. And when I make the jump to draw 3D, I'm going to need a lot of the same information. So I don't know if I'm going to reuse this. I don't know if I'm going to try and have two states and keep them in sync, or that sounds absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So let's just get rid of the pop for now. I want to be in the other file. I want to be in draw. I want to be in draw Lua. If I get rid of this, nothing should go wrong. Right? I'm going to blow out my Lua stack a little, but it shouldn't complain. Okay, so let's just simplify here, right? Let's simplify this. And let's just assign this. Let's say this is always going to be 0. It's always going to be null. Okay, so we're going to build. This builds fine. We're going to run. And it runs fine. So that was actually our problem all along, right? That was actually our problem all along. Kick frame end. Cannot upload texture if you have address 0. Cool. So our base pointer still comes out at 0. Aaron says, "Hi, you're Brazilian. You saw my videos on YouTube. You've studied the latest Lua stuff, so you might be able to help. That would be good." Josh Wood asks about. Hold on, let me pull this back over. So model poly limits or scene poly limits. Do you mean in general for the PlayStation 2? The PlayStation 2 can draw 75 million untextured triangles with no anti-aliasing per second. It's pretty good, right? That's a pretty big number. But in practice, you're never going to quite hit that number. You've got to build the buffers and stuff. There are going to be a lot of things that will stop you hitting the theoretical number. I can't remember the number for textured triangles off the top of my head. I think it comes down to closer to 30 million, 35 million triangles per second. So that gives you what? If you divide that by 30, a million triangles per frame. And you could probably get, yeah, you would struggle to get close to that, I think. So Aronym. So okay, lure question, right? Where are we? So when I call lure to integer, does this actually pop the thing off the top of the stack, or does it leave it there? Am I just polluting the stack terribly? Refraction, good evening, welcome. We have a sad lure problem today. We're gonna hopefully crack it soon, and then get some good texturing happening, and then make stuff happen. Oh boy. But yeah, I actually can't, like, the lure docs don't say that it pops. It just says convert lure value. Lure value must be a number or string convertible to a number, otherwise it returns 0. Do you mean you'd prefer I typed it? Sorry, that's having a bit of trouble parsing your sentence there. But I do want to say, it's amazing that so many South Americans are interested in the PlayStation 2 and that come and watch my stuff. Refraction, have you seen, you probably haven't seen, my YouTube channel has like freaking not blown up, but it's been doing pretty well. I've had like 48,000 views, or 40,000 views in the last 48 hours, but it's been like that for like 2 days now, like 3 days now. 38,000 views in 48 hours. It's insane. Yeah, well, it's not even like viral, right? It's all just YouTube. YouTube has given 1 million impressions of my videos. It's actually like the most insane thing that's happened. Okay. So what's happening is, right, we're trying to dereference a field that does not exist. Why does this not exist? We call upload texture. Upload texture. This function called upload texture. We call this from draw 2D. Someone did share one of my videos on your Discord. Nice. Yeah, I was wondering, I can see a few of my views have come from outside of YouTube, but like 90% of those views are all coming from YouTube. It's nuts. Anything that got super got interested? Yeah. Lure's amazing for game dev. I really want good Lure interfaces to play with stuff. I think it's going to be important for 3D as well, like more important for 3D. Oh, this is just so annoying. Why are we getting a 0 VRAM address? Why does this hate me? We push the string. We get the string from the table, right? We've done this 1 million times, and it works. We do this everywhere else. Where else are we doing Lure? Let's pull up nerd tree. GS Lure, right? When we do GS stuff, push string get table to integer. This is how we've done it every other time. This is how it works. Oh, here we actually pop as well. Interesting. Well, let's put the pops in. Let's see what happens if we pop. I don't think this should make a difference, right? This shouldn't make a difference. Because it just means we're like polluting the stack, right? We're just pushing more and more stuff on top of it. Yep, and this is fine, and it just yells at me because we're still getting VRAM address 0. That's good that it still runs, though. It's good that it still runs. What should be at position -1 on the stack? Okay, so when we have the VRAM address, right? So we have one argument to this function when we call it. If we go to texture.lure, we call upload texture. Oh, holy crap. I can't believe it. I'm calling this because when I do this in Lure, right? Because when I'm doing this in Lure, I use this colon because we have this internal state, so I use self a lot. When I do this into C, like this isn't the first argument, this is the second argument. When you use the colon instead of the dot in Lure, you get an implicit first argument of the actual object. Oh, that explains it. That's it. That's literally it. So draw lure.c. Okay, we're a little bit more hygienic now, right, with how we pop things. That's good. Pointer equals lure.toUser data. Okay, and then like I drew, right? So this we're going to end up with a table still in the stack. So we're going to say lua pop L2. And we're going to come in everywhere we've said get table 1, we're going to say get table 2, right? Because rather than the first argument, we now know that it's actually the second argument. And that is all good. We're going to build you, we're going to run you, you're going to work, you're going to work. And it goes, binding texture address equals 0. This still seems a bit weird, but binding texture address equals 0. I don't know where that even gets logged from. DMA send. So this looks better. This looks better, right? Let's jump into our buffer 1. Let's clean it up. Let's grab a buffer, copy it, and paste it. Okay, so now if we go back and we do our vim diff split, yeah, we get up to line, we get a lot further into this before the differences start to appear. Okay, cool. 7 million triangles seems like enough report. PS Vita games ported, that, hold on, here we go. -1. -1 should return data at the bottom of the stack. No, -1 is the top of the stack, right? In Lua, like, so 1 is your first argument and -1 is the top of the stack. As you push things onto the stack, -1 stays as like the top of the stack. -2 is the second from the top of the stack. I guess top and bottom are like troublesome words here. -1 is the last thing that got pushed onto the stack. Cool. Porting things from other consoles onto the PS2 is just like an absolute minefield, especially if, yeah, like it's a complicated system at the best of times. So, buffer 2 has some stuff that is not in buffer 1. Oh no, hold on, here we go. Okay, so line 16, we've got a little bit of a difference. That's concerning because this is where we set the VRAM address, right? So our VRAM address is off by... that's like, I can't do that math in my head, but it's off. That's the wrong value. That's the wrong number. So we're calculating this wrong, or we're masking and shifting this wrong. We're short something. What was 52? 52. Bitblit buff was 50. Register 52 is the transmission area. So yeah, so this is going to blow up. Oh, I think this is, yeah, this is like the size of the texture, right? Okay, so now we want to go into bufferlua.c. We want to find where we do bit... no, sorry, not bufferlua. We want to go into buffer.c, confusingly named. Bit, blit, buff. Okay, so dba, which we shift to the left 32 bits. That looks right. We mask it with this, which again looks right. I don't see how this would lead to this difference. What is the difference between these two numbers? This is... There's literally just like... there's a bit missing from the middle. That's not right. That's not right. Why does it... I'm very confused by this. So TRX reg is going to be easier to see. TRX pose, TRX dir. TRX reg. Okay, so you get this, and you get the other one shifted by 32 bits. So that's good. But the bottom one, for some reason, right, the width is coming out as 0. So our width is 0. That's not good. That means we're going to draw nothing. So if I go back over to drawlua.c, unfortunately I'm probably not going to get this working today because I have to go and start my job at some point. What time is it? Okay, it's only 8:20. I got a bit longer. We're going to try and smash this. Upload texture. Okay, so here I think we do want to jump into draw2d upload texture. Ooh, I don't know if that picked up on my mic, but my door. We say we have like a ghost in here. My door just like slammed itself shut after opening itself. Width divided by 64. Oh no, this is just the width. This is just the width. See, this divide can be problematic, right? But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I think if we run this, right? If we run this, the VRAM address that we get, I guess we could just be... It's weird. It's weird. No, it's the first thing we do as well, right? So, uploading texture to blah blah blah. The fact that this is 0 as well, hold on. Why is this? This shouldn't be 0. This is gonna crash. This is gonna crash. The only reason this isn't crashing right now is because we're not actually uploading something. We're uploading from address 0 in memory. Maybe we're still getting a few stray zeros, right? So let me go to draw lure. And let me do what I probably should have done a while ago and say info. Let's just list all of the fields that we've got, right? So we'll list the width, we'll list the height, we'll list the, I guess I'll name them as well, width, height, PSM, VRAM, and address. So we'll go PSM equals D equals P. Perfect. So we've got width, we've got height, we've got PSM, we've got VRAM, adder, and then we have pointer. And when we run this, calling upload texture with width equals 0. Okay. Okay, width is not being read. Height, fine. Width, no. No good. Width for some reason is 0. That's good. Oh, it's because I did this still. Well, that checks out. That checks out. Now if I run U, we actually get width. We actually get width. I love it. Perfect. At E, address is still 0. And again, this is just a case of weird defaults, right? Or like quiet failures. So it's this picture that I drew, right? We get the data field from whatever's in position 2, that this is an object that goes onto the stack. Okay. We push the string address. This is the field we want to dereference. And we call get table. We point to this table, which is -2 on the stack. It takes the thing on top of the stack. It dereferences that field from this table. We expect that to be an integer, which then goes on top of the stack. So actually, this isn't correct, right? We want this to be... This should look like... it should be some number, and then the object. So we grab that object off the top of the stack, and then we pop. So I'm guessing this is going wrong. Maybe this is going wrong. Because if we go to draw2d.lure, right? Data, right? We do this in Lure just fine. We do this in Lure just fine. If we go back to, we go to where we define load texture. Yeah, so we set this data field, right? This data field should have an address field. Let's go into texture.lure and let's do something dumb. Let's say, when we start every frame, we'll say print. And then we'll say test text.data.adder. Right? We'll just mush these things together. And that... Ooh. Okay. This is promising. This is very promising. Attempted to index a nil value global test text. Oh. That was less exciting than I thought. Test text. I didn't need to rebuild there. We're scripting. We're scripting. So the first thing we should see in the frame, right? The first-ish thing we should see in the frame. VRM alloc. I didn't let that run long enough. Hold on. We'll get... Oh, no, hold on. We only get one frame. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. So, the address. It has an address. This field exists. This field is real. When we dereference it, it becomes nothing. Oh man, doesn't that make you sad? Doesn't that make you sad when the data's there, but somehow your method of dereferencing the data isn't working? Lure... Draw lure. Okay, data. Yes. Address. Yes. Could the to-user data call be going wrong? Could it be that... Is address not user data? Address is user data, right? If I go to tga.c, we do this here. We set it here. Oh, we push it as an integer. That explains it. No wonder it comes out as 0. So we're going to go lure to integer, but then we have to cast it. So this is... Do I just cast it to void? Does that work? It should, right? And let's see what happens. Texture upload overflows buffer. I like it. Bad dimensions. That checks out. That checks out. Uploading texture. Yeah, we've got an address. That looks like a real address. That looks like the one that we see in buffer 2. Okay, so now we grab this buffer. We come back into buffer 1. Okay, buffer 2 can get out of here. We're going to clear up buffer 1. We need to actually copy this again for some reason. This copy never works. No. Come to the right window, please. Now we're going to do our diff split again. Okay. So this address is still weird, right? This address, this is better, but this is still off by a bit. By a bit. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how this happens. This makes no sense to me. If we come down a few lines, we're now setting this properly, which is great. If we come down, there's a bit of extra stuff in buffer 2, right? So this is the actual upload, right? This is a DMA tag. Yeah, these are the actual DMA tags for the upload. These are absent, weirdly enough. They shouldn't be. So when we're calling upload texture, we're calling... We'll keep this check in for now. That does actually seem useful. Upload texture. Well, we need to go to draw2d now. Yeah, we're into the actual logic, right? So upload texture. Okay. So the first thing we do is set these fields. Apart from the VRM address being weird, it's not a big deal. Osen23, hello, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. We are going crazy at the moment trying to work out why nothing is working. This is my life. This is my life. Okay. So apart from the VRM address being off by a really random offset, right? This is good, but then, we're calculating something wrong here because this loop never seems to fire. We don't seem to do this at all, right? We don't seem to get this pattern of gift tag, right? Is this the gift tag and then this is the DMA tag? I think that's the way it goes, right? So we go DMA tag, gift tag, DMA tag, DMA tag, gift tag, DMA tag, right? This is a DMA tag with one thing. This is a gift tag saying that we're uploading an image, and then this is a DMA tag, right? I think that's how it goes. I only wrote this code, you know. And then we jump back. So yeah, this isn't being calculated properly. While packet count is greater than 0. So our packet count is coming out at 0, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Either that, or we're somehow overriding our state, so this never gets cleaned up, and we end up just, when we push more things into our buffer, it just gets, like, overridden. It could be that as well. Man, this is complicated, right? I'm trying to do this nicely, so that I don't just have an incrementing pointer like they do in PS2 SDK, but the state does have certain headaches. See, this could actually just be overriding. So let's check this out first, right? So draw2d start CNT. Comes out of drawbuffer head. And there's basically no way that drawbuffer head isn't getting set here. I didn't actually set a mark. That was silly of me. So let's go upload texture. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way this isn't moving anything. Because if we look for DMA tag raw, right, I wrote a utility function to just drop a raw DMA tag, and we move the draw buffer head, and we increase the draw buffer size, right? So there's no way that this isn't happening. Let's do some logging. Let's say trace upload texture block size equals packet count equals remain equals block size packet count remain. And we're going to run you die for some reason, because our stuff isn't being done properly. Oh, we need to actually properly rebuild. The logging change, yeah, doesn't actually do anything unless you do a full rebuild. Or maybe not. Texture upload overflows. Draw 2D 246. Oh, we're failing up here. Well, no wonder that's missing from the buffer. What bytes? I think we can probably just ignore this, right? What are bytes here? What did I do? Width times height. Oh yeah, no crap, hey. Yeah, width times height, which I'm passing in as the number of bytes, definitely is smaller than width times height times 4. Oh, we've got life. Can you guys see that? I don't know if the really highly flickering stuff shows up well on stream. Last time I had some weird texturing stuff happening. I was talking about it on stream, and it wasn't actually showing up to anyone on stream. It was like flickering too fast. So this may not be visible to you, but I can see a slight flicker of a texture in there. It's very noisy. So we're going to grab this buffer. This is our buffer. Okay, this is the one to compare with buffer 2. And I copied it wrong again. I'm going to have to do this bloody thing again. Okay, copy, paste. What's the objective for this video? Yeah, so we can do textured triangles in 2D, but I've got a crappy Lua implementation of it. I'm porting that over to C so that it actually runs fast, right? I had an example game, and we could draw, like, I had a tile map. You could draw like 10 tiles per frame before it started to shit the bed. So we're gonna go hard. We're gonna get some super fast, super optimized C, and we're just gonna increase performance. Once we've done that, we're gonna try and finalize the API. I don't think I'm gonna have time to actually put it in the game, unfortunately, because I've got to start work in about 30 minutes. Yeah, you can see the flickering. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna check out this diff split again. It looks like we've got a few differences, but it looks like these lines actually match up for the entire file almost now. We've got a bit of extra stuff in buff 2 still. So this is probably actually part of what's causing the problem. Okay, so while this line doesn't match, nothing's gonna work. This is the address we're writing to in VRAM, right? This should be the same. I don't know why this is so different. Here we're missing a bit. What's the top bit here? The top bit, sorry, I'm just gonna check some sneaky stuff off camera. That's not it. Where are we? 151. Oh no, that's the DMA tag, isn't it? Top bit of a DMA tag. I think that's on like top bit of a DMA tag. No, that's that is the gift tag. What am I talking about? Anyway, something weird happening there. Something weird happening there. And then this doesn't line up. Okay, on line 22. Again, this is the address, right? So this is a flow on from these lines not matching. Okay. We need to... We're missing something from one of these things. Oh, let's not shut down. Yeah, so let's jump in. Let's jump in, right? Jump into Draw 2D. So we set these registers, right? And then we start this loop. This loop goes DMA tag raw, right? So this is what we expect to see. We've got the start of our DMA tag. And then the next thing we write is wrong. So we write this gift tag new. This is missing one bit, the top bit. I don't think that should matter, right? nreg. This field isn't even used in an image transfer, is it? The top 4... Yeah, this shouldn't even matter. Why is this set? Okay. I actually think this is more correct, right? The number of registers shouldn't be set in a image transfer, I think. I just don't think it uses it. And then this address is wrong, and of course this address is wrong because it was wrong the first time we used it. And then we get this diff going on. The field will be ignored in an image transfer. Perfect. So I don't know why that's being set in Lua, but oh, okay, so now we have a problem. Now we have a problem, right? So at the end of this loop of DMA tag, gift tag, DMA tag, we then have another DMA tag with 7 bits in it, right? So that's down here. That's after the remain. Starts into, that's here, right? That's here. But the first thing we put in this, this is EOP, isn't it? Yeah, this is the EOP flag. So, gift tag new. AD text flush. Okay, so we go into buffer.c. We go to text flush. We go to text flush. Yeah, cool. Okay. No, wait, no, it's in the gift tag. It's in the gift tag. Sorry. I got confused. We go back to buffer lua. We go to gift tag new. So the third to last argument. So this should be 1. That'll fix that. That'll fix this. And then we might... Actually, that shouldn't matter either, right? The end of packet... Like, it's still drawing. That shouldn't matter either. I don't know what this is. Oh no, this is another text upload. So this is the same issue, a repeat of the same issue again. And then we have this stuff that's missing. So what's this? 3B, what registers are these? 3B1406. This is some of my actual geometry that's missing. That's weird. Yeah, I don't need to EOP unless there's no further instruction. So okay. I'll undo that. So the problem here is that the address is wrong, right? The problem here is that the address is wrong. I'm going to start clearing the screen again because I think we're at a point where that makes sense. So I disabled the screen clear by just not setting the screen dimensions. That defaults to 0, 0. Okay, cool. So we're drawing stuff. We're drawing it from kind of a nonsense place in memory. Okay, here's the thing we check, and I'm probably 3B is text A 14. Weird. Okay, so I'm not setting these. I must be setting them. I mustn't be setting them properly. We'll deal with the address first because that's a low hanging fruit. Okay, why is this different? Wait. I'm diffing it with itself. How did that happen? How did this? Okay, here we go. This is off by a really random amount. Like, it's not the top bit, it's not the bottom bit. We've got this weird bit in the middle. Okay. because we divide it by 64, but not dividing by 64 doesn't lead to that kind of difference. What we're going to check, we're going to run, we're going to run, we're going to go to where this gets allocated in the very first frame. We are going to grab, where is it? Reading. Well, I guess we can, to here, right? Okay, to here. So let's just, okay, now I'm going to swap over to our slow renderer. I'm going to run again. I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to grab, I don't get that log message, do I? Surely somewhere I log this. Image data, base, got texture VRAM address, right? So, okay, this is a different number. This is a very, that's a familiar number. 944128. That's the memory address for where the DMA data is, yeah. So this should be the same though, because I'm using the same allocator, and I'm allocating the same things in the same order. There's no reason that these should be different, right? I guess it looks like it's picking up the right data. Let me just actually think about what this is, right? So if I go back to every time, I don't know why it always focuses the wrong thing. So if I go back, I just said with this does look more like an issue with, oh wait, no, hold on. This isn't even drawing. Again, can you actually see that? That's very flickery. But I think this is actually, I don't know why it would be flickering, right? It shouldn't be flickering. Man, I don't know. Oh, I think I'm actually going to have to call the stream, unfortunately. I've got to go have breakfast and get ready for work. I was hoping to knock something out of the park here, because this is going to be my last stream for the year. It's been a pretty crazy year, right? But yeah, I wanted to get this working. I wanted to leave the year on a high. Unfortunately, I'm going to be traveling, and I'm not going to be back until early January. I think the 4th of January I'll be back. So yeah, I'm going to have to leave this unfinished. I might hack away on it on my laptop while I'm traveling, but I'm not going to be able to live stream any of it. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out. We had a few more viewers than usual. Hopefully this can go up, and people on YouTube will enjoy it and continue enjoying it. I've got a few Advent of Code videos that'll be going up, and I've got a video talking about the first 3 years of my career, which I'm going to be uploading as well. So I'm interested to see if people are going to watch things other than just PS2 dev, right? How appealing am I outside of... Am I just a PS2 dev, or is there more to me than that? So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you, Refraction. Thank you, Josh Wood. Have a great new year. I will be back stronger than ever. I've got some cool ideas for some videos and some streams and stuff. We're gonna get this PS2 stuff working eventually, and it's gonna be beautiful when it does. It's just a slow and painful road to get there. So have a great day or a great evening, depending on where in the world you live. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Tom, and I'll catch you next time.